My name's Harry Griffith, and this is structural YouTube on how to assemble this fence unloader. We've been making tools to help people bring in the crop since 1956 when my dad invented this gadget to pick up pecans. That led me to the powder coat business, which led me to meeting a fellow named Michael Tolley, who's really a talented inventor who came up with this fence unroller stretcher. And you put the barbed wire in this side, and you put this around the post, and you can use a regular battery drill, and it'll stretch a quarter-mile of fence tight as a banjo. Then he also came up with this. I call this screw technology. You put this, you got a broken piece of barbed wire, you put this on one end, this on the other end, you use the battery drill, it brings it together, and then you can wrap it and mend the fence. It's a fence mender. We sell this along with this fence unroller. Now this is, we sell this in the 4-foot for the 4-foot welded wire, and this one is designed for the 8-foot. Now that makes this 99 inches long, which you can't even get it in a freight truck. So, and if you extended it out, it would be a special rate. So an item's worthless if you can't ship it. So what we've done, we've telescoped it to where it can be shipped KD. Now, in other words, flat on this 48-inch pallet, all of these parts were shipped within 11 inches high, 40 by 48, which gives you a good rate, and we can ship it to you. But we have to be able to ship it to someone who can unload a freight truck, and they don't want to go to a residence and hunt up the people to deliver. So another way we can ship this to a residence is this whole unit will go into 3 boxes, and we can ship it UPS. So this is the way you assemble the unit. Now this, it's all steel construction. It's a heavy construction. It's like 1/4-inch tubing, and this skid plate is rated so it can handle, 400 pounds of fence. Now, when it comes in, it'll be on this pallet, and I suggest the first thing you do is you assemble it going up, telescoping up. And that or you could lay it down and assemble it laying down and have it straight up to attach to the skid plate. Now this skid plate, these holes are within a millimeter. I mean, they're tight, and we have these, actually we didn't intend to have this millimeter, but in the future there'll be a American standard. But these bolts go through these 2 holes, and then the corresponding holes in the back on the steer plate, and so you've got it attached there, and we've got a lock washer to securely bolt this. We also put angle iron alignment, which will give you extra security because you got a lot of torque there in the 8-foot. So this one I think is a good design, and the plate goes down on the pallet along with these 2 assembly units. Now, once you get this part done, then we have another identical to this is up here. And the only difference between these 2 are these 2 holes, so that you know that this plate goes to the steer plate because it'll have these 2 holes. All right. Then on one side, you've got this channel iron, and this is pre-welded. And this was I had a fellow named Jay Haney help me with designing this. He's a fitter he has been welding. He spent his life fitting. So this was a hell of a fit job. There's hardly any distance in there. And by having this pipe, that makes that, when it tightens down, it's gonna be lined up. It's just got one bolt to line that up. And then on the other one, back here, you got the square tubing, and it telescopes, and let me tell you, I will make sure that I code these. See, that slips down on that tube there. And this part, this is 9-inch tubing right in here. This one's welded, so it's never gonna come out. And this one, you got a 5/8-inch bolt that goes through these holes and secures this. Then of course you take this part right here and you put it up here. So you use a step ladder or a dock or whatever to assemble the top. So you got the bolts here, you'll have a bolt there. You got the top. So it's that simple. And then you got, now of course when you unroll the wire, you grab one end of the wire and it spools out. But once you get it spooled out and you want to stretch the wire, you bolt this bar onto this bar, and of course it holds the wire, and then you pull it out with a tractor or your whatever you're using. Now these holes have got to correspond, and I do have them corresponding, but this one bar might go to the top, one bar goes to the bottom. So I'll try to code that to you. And then of course it matters on the flip. And in the future we'll have these where it's universal, won't have that problem, but it's no big deal. So you bolt this down to here and you got it. And you pull it straight. And that, then basically, you've got this disc that goes on the bottom where you can put your wire, and then you got, I had to get, this is an 8-foot rod, so it's just impossible to ship an 8-foot rod. So of course we got the unions here, and these are 5/8-inch threaded rods, and they might be tight, but that's what you want them tight. So you put this together. There's 3 lengths. This is the top one. Now these bolts will be, 2 of the bolts will be already threaded on. And you might put some Loctite on there to make sure they're secure. But this is the rod that goes down through the middle. And this will all ship flat. That way we can keep your costs down, and it'll get the job done. And this is a KD product. Really proud of it. And let us know if we can improve on anything. And because it's really a developing item that we're really getting a lot of orders for the 8-footer, which is for deer fencing, and there are a lot of people in the exotic animals, and they need more than a 4-foot. And some of them, this will also work with a 6-foot. So it's a good, really a heavily made item. It's well made, it's all American, and I think it'll serve you well. Thank you. Don't do me like you did me. Ex-husband.
No, it's, problem is it's still